Hey guys, Alex with Raise the Roof here. We have a bit of a different, unique episode for you guys today. First off, happy All-Star break. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game over these last couple days. But this podcast, like I said, is going to be a different one because the Rays were generous enough, were nice enough to give us media credentials for the weekend. Raise the Roof is now an official credentialed outlet to cover the Tampa Bay Rays, which was beyond surreal to be able to be part of it. But this podcast is going to consist of a bunch of interviews that we took over the weekend. Interviews with manager Kevin Cash. We spoke with Evan Longoria on his return to the Trop. We got post-game interviews, pre-game interviews with players, the whole 9 yards. So this podcast is going to be a compilation of all of those videos. We will try our best to splice the videos together based on the day of which we recorded them. If you guys didn't see any of the videos on Twitter and on Instagram, you guys can check them out at a later date if you guys want to actually watch the video versions of those. And we're also going to be posting a lot of them on our YouTube channel, which is just Raise the Roof. So make sure you guys check it out there. But like I said, this is just going to be a compilation. We'll try to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday day by day. And I will come in and say what's going on what day and everything like that. But again, thank you guys so much. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys, your support on everywhere, podcasts and social media. So again, thank you guys. And we really hope you enjoy this unique and special all-star version of Raise the Roof. This first set of interviews is pregame interviews from Friday's game against Cleveland. That includes manager Kevin Cash and pitchers Drew Rasmussen and Zach Littell.
And continue that tonight.
Well, just that. Hopefully he continues it. Look, this team is they're very talented. I think they're pretty unique in that they have pretty much as any lineup that I've seen, they lack swing and miss. They put the ball in play. That's going to present challenges probably all weekend for us. I think Taj is, the run he's been on is probably best equipped to go navigate through that with the lefties and the switch hitters that he can turn around and get that four-seam fastball at the top of the zone and then the split below.
Pretty cool for you to see the guy on the other side too, Carrasco. Pretty long-standing relationship there.
He has a knack for pitching really well in this building. It's been, I don't know when his last start was, but there were a couple consecutive years where he'd come in and throw the ball well. So hopefully he doesn't do that, and I can give him a big hug tomorrow.
He still lives in the area, right?
Yeah. As far as I know.
Yeah.
You seem to consistently pair Taj with Alex. What, is that a comfort thing? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think that they've been on a pretty good run together. When the pitcher goes well, I think sometimes you got to give credit to the rhythm, the tempo, and the balance of them working well with the catcher. And AJ and him have seemed to work really well.
What have you seen from Josh lately? It seems like aside from that series in Pittsburgh, he's kind of had trouble getting established there.
I mean, look, I know he's working. I know Motor talks about getting his bat in the right spot to start in the stance, and he's had some inconsistency trying to get there. They had 2 good work days, he said, the last 2 days, so encouraged by that. But no doubt, I mean, it looks like he's early on breaking balls, late on fastballs. That's kind of the sign of a guy that is just not seeing the ball well. But he's working his butt off to get there, and we need him to get there because where he sits in our lineup, he's coming up with some big spots. And know that, in time, he'll start getting those big hits.
We've seen Yandy for an extended period now, kind of back to like that ball he hit last night was the hardest ball of his career.
I think it was the hardest ball of a Tampa Bay Ray.
Second maybe or something.
Second? Who hit the first?
Nelson Cruz.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. The home run in
Cleveland? I mean, it was the
Detroit?
day that we got him. Yeah, really. I thought off the bat that was the hardest one. When I saw 117, that's impressive.
I guess the point I was trying to get at was like encouraging that that's something that could carry you, help carry you through the
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he is really being himself right now. Lengthier at bats, barreling balls up. His outs are, he started to get the ball in the air a little bit more, not a ton, but a little bit more. He's finding gaps. So yeah, I agree that, you know, he sets the tone. Everybody in our lineup is going to say that he's the key to getting us going, and he's been doing that now for a couple weeks.
Obviously, at this point in the season, it's going to be hard for a guy like Alex Jackson to change his batting average.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to see from him when he goes up there for his at-bats now?
I mean, just, you know, remain competitive, continue to work. We all feel for Alex. I certainly feel for Alex and what he's gone through. It's very easy for me to sit here and say from the dugout to not look up there, but the reality is you do look up there. You know what the stats are. The fans know what the stats are. So he's wearing that weight on him probably every at bat. But you know, if he can come up once or twice every game, you know, once or two times every series and come up with a big, you know, moving the runner and not trying to do too much to turn the lineup over, where it puts Yandy in a spot where he's got a guy to hit with guys on base, that'll help.
Pretty well. I mean, I'm still on the IL, so not perfect, obviously. But,
Right.
yeah, I've done a couple IBPs now, and we're moving in the direction of working towards the rehab stint with Durham. So things are going pretty well right now.
That's supposed to be after the All-Star break, I think?
Yeah, that's the game plan right now. So as far as I know, tomorrow's my last live BP down in Port Charlotte, and then I think coming out of the All-Star break, I should be with them.
How hard is it to kind of pace yourself through this?
I mean, because the schedule that they make for me is pretty concrete for,
Okay.
you know, the first portion, it's pretty easy. Things get ran very similarly to spring training at this point, where you're going to throw a couple IBPs and then, you know, you'll build into it once you get to Durham, endurance-wise. So because of the structure of the schedule they've made up for me, I think pacing yourself kind of is taken out of the equation. And it's probably for that reason, because it is very challenging, right? Like, you watch the team play every single day.
Right.
You want to obviously help the team to the best of your abilities, and not being able to makes it very difficult.
Are you going to get built up like a starter, or is it kind of take it outing to outing?
Outing by outing right now. We'll kind of see where we're at, just scheduling wise. You know, it's what, July already, so you know, we'll see where we're at here when the rehab stint begins.
Sometimes when they go through this, it can kind of give them time to relook at their pitches, relook at their deliveries
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Have you had a chance to do that? Is there any changes you've made?
Yeah, we're trying to make some mechanical adjustments to help limit elbow stress, believe it or
Right.
not. And so that's kind of the goal up to this point. We're trending in the right direction. We're not perfect right now by any means, but we're definitely, like I said, trying to make some adjustments. And then obviously on top of it, you don't want to hurt the arsenal. So
Right.
it's a very fine line to walk, trying to limit elbow stress, but as well, you know, be able to perform at the same level.
Might be a silver lining thing, but how much did you learn from the first one that kind of guided you through the second?
I mean, because I am a journeyman on the IL, I've had a lot of experience, but you know, I think the biggest thing I've learned is trying not to look too far into anything on a given day, right? Like, you have some days where you just kind of are cranky, and you have other days where you feel really good. So try not to get too high on the good days and try not to get too low on the bad days. And typically, in my experience, if you're feeling something, it's really a 2 or 3 day, you know, phenomena here and there. It's not. Obviously, if you start to get a week, 10 days, 2 weeks into a problem, it might be something bigger. But if, you know, like I said, you're cranky on a day, give it a chance to breathe. And ultimately, if, like I said, 2, 3, 4 days pass, and it typically takes care of itself in that time frame.
Are you still throwing all the same pitches, or are you eliminating one because of the?
No,
Okay.
not right now. I mean, all the stuff, they've got me wearing all sorts of technology and throwing in our lab occasionally and that kind of stuff. And so far, what we've seen is that no pitch puts any more stress on the elbow. I mean, in all honesty, the fastball's the pitch that puts the most stress on it. So, and I don't know any pitcher that's eliminated that one.
Right.
So.
Very good. Fair enough.
Comfort-wise, you know, through this rehab that you've had so
Yeah.
far, where are you feeling at right now?
You know what? I feel really good with where we're at, stuff-wise, command-wise. Now it's just more about just building up stamina. I think I threw a 25 pinch live the other day in a single set, and you know, you're trying to expose yourself to what would be a long inning. And you know, by the end of that, I mean, we were probably to pitch 20, 21, and it was like, man, I'm pretty gassed right now. But like I said, it's very similar to spring training, where you got to build up and you got to build into it, just to expose the body to it.
And is there a certain eagerness for you to get into an actual rehab outing, or is it, I guess
I don't know if eagerness, I'd say excitement.
Yeah.
Obviously very similar, but I'm really excited, and to get back onto a regular, like a season schedule. Right now we come to games at night and then we're up early, and I mean my day's ending as guys are rolling into the clubhouse, and so the late night early morning isn't my favorite thing ever, but I think a lot of people could complain about that all over the world, so it'll be nice to get on a pretty set schedule here moving forward.
Great. How do you assess your first half of the season, basically?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't want to say I've been bad lately, but not as good as I would want to be over the course of the last month and a half or so. But looking at the body of work, it's kind of a lot to be proud about and a lot to build on. I think it's easy to forget that this is my first full season doing it, so as hard as I have been on myself, it's one of those things where you kind of have to take a look at all the good things we've done and try and build on those going into the second half, and so that's what I'm going to try and do.
How does your body feel doing that for the first time?
I feel good. I think the first month and a half was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, just some inconsistent feelings post-start throughout the week, but have really kind of settled into a routine here lately where I feel the same every week, and that's kind of the feeling that I was chasing early on, so pretty happy with where I'm at.
Did you take anything from the way the outing went in Texas, and as far as what you can do moving forward?
No, to be honest with you, there weren't any major red flags other than just execution. We just missed over the plate too much, and that's not something I'm going to read into. It's just generally not what I do, so that stuff's going to happen. Sucks that it happened against a lineup that does that type of damage, but there wasn't anything that jumped off the page that I was like, oh, I need to fix this, so we're just going to flush it and move on this week.
What do you make of this Cleveland lineup? Obviously coming in with the best record in the American League, a couple of really talented hitters at the top of the order especially.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a really nice job. I think that some people probably slept on a little bit. I mean, they've had talented guys for the last few years. It was only a matter of time for a lot of them putting it all together. And they've done a really nice job. I know they rebuilt the staff over there, and I think the culture has probably got a lot to do with it. So, it's from a distance it's been interesting to watch those guys go out. They've got a lot of young guys who are also kind of coming in their own, and should be a fun matchup.
These are post-game interviews from Friday's win against Cleveland, including manager Kevin Cash, starting pitcher Taj Bradley, catcher Alex Jackson, and relief pitcher Jason Adam.
Everything. Another special performance. I mean, he's really doing it right now. This is, and I said pre-game, pretty unique lineup that puts the ball in play so much, and they're going to spoil a lot of good pitches. And I mean, they're really good. He had, really good pitches that they probably couldn't spoil because of the split, the combination of the fastball. It seems that recipe right now seems to be going about as good as we can ask.
I think that cutter was really good for him too tonight. Got a lot of outs that just kind of speak to the depth of the order.
Yeah. I mean, when you commit, you got to commit to one approach, and then when he goes starting throwing balls east and west, he threw a couple breaking balls. The bigger curveball went back to Naylor on breaking balls. I think he punched another guy out on a 12-6 curveball. So it's all there, and he's feeling it pretty well right now and doing it so efficiently.
He's doing it pretty consistently too.
Yeah, he's been on just a really impressive run. He should feel really good about himself going into the All-Star break.
Was there anything that you saw that kind of knew he was going to take this step? Because you had said the next step for him was consistency.
Yeah.
Was there anything you saw coming, or?
I think that his mindset has changed a little bit. I don't know if that necessarily means that he's going to go out there and be consistent, but he earlier on 5-6 starts ago, there was some adversity in some innings, and it didn't seem to bother him at all. So where it happened, he's on to the next pitch, next batter, next inning, whatever it was.
Even today, I think he had 2 on, 1 out in the 5th, and Snides comes out and immediately gets a double play.
Yeah, who's that? Hedges. Yeah, threw a cutter down and away, I think. So, he continues just to make big pitches. Any threat, he's kind of quieting really, really quickly.
You got to be happy for Jackson to contribute.
Yeah, that was cool. Good questions today. Really cool. I wish he would have got a hit on the first one, but a couple big hits. leading off innings, the one to get us get us going a little bit. But he needs to feel good about himself, and today's a huge step in that direction.
Can you see that in body language after a guy kind of snaps that? Could you see him going up in that? I think it was the third at bat.
Yeah,
differently.
Yeah, I mean, we're all feeling it for him a little bit, but you can kind of see the decompress of like, all right, I got a hit. Let me go relax a little bit and try to put together a good at bat. I even liked the at bat when he struck out against Barlow. I mean, Barlow's really tough. He was ready, prepared for sliders. He just missed it.
Was there any change in approach tonight with Ajax? Did you see anything different possibly?
No, not really. I mean, I think that he continues to work. The game's tough. He realizes that. We realize that. He does so many good things behind the plate. I mean, a lot of Taj, he's doing it, but they're working pretty well together. And he doesn't take the at bats out to the field. He's committed to the pitchers and getting them through that outing.
How good is Jason Adams? Just
he's on a pretty good run right now. I hope there's a couple more people that drop out and he can maybe go pitch in Texas. He's really throwing the ball with a lot of confidence, 3-pitch mix, and making good hitters look uncomfortable.
Impressive outing for you tonight. What was feeling so good for you on the mound?
Just consistency and just, I guess, I had a calmness today. That just helped me push through the 7.
Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, just trusting in my stuff now, just knowing that it's going to be what it is, and I'm coming today, my body feeling like how it normally feels, and just go out there and play a game.
That's not a lineup that swings and misses a lot. What do you feel like you had going to kind of get the strikeouts that you did?
I feel like I was just keeping off balance. I started them off speed, I had the curveball dropping, and slider too, that was a good pitch. Started them off changeups too, and then speed them up with a heater. So I feel like that just kept me to get those weak contacts on like fly balls with the fastball and stuff like that.
It'd be fun to have that much stuff that you can go to to kind of mix up the arsenal.
Yeah, that's where the calmness comes from, man. Like, you got all that stuff, like you don't have to worry about anything pretty much.
You had talked about like how you changed your mindset after that start in Baltimore and just your confidence is growing. What's it like out there now, just knowing that you can go out there and do that?
I just reassurance, just knowing that like today's gonna be any other day. I said in Dallas, like just going out now, just know I'm gonna do this again next week. I know the All-Star break, but the following week is gonna be the same. Just different competition. So just throw my same game, and everything else will work itself out.
What is it like working with Alex, and how do you feel for him tonight getting those hits?
I'm excited. I said yesterday, even with the ground balls heat up the middle, like that's him getting hot. Like if I see him doing that, like in AAA, like I know he's gonna, put bat on ball and do it hard too. So that's just exciting for him. Like he's calling a good game back there, and I trust him with every pitch. Like there's only a few that maybe will just shake off, but even that, I'll pre-grip a pitch and he's already in my head. He's knowing what I want.
How much does he help you with like preparation and things like that, as far as getting ready for games and everything?
He preps for me. I mean, yeah, like early on in the season, I wanted to get more into the scouting reports and stuff like that. And it just wasn't working for me. Like, no, I'll do that. You just throw this ball, and then we'll make it work like that. So that's our battery dynamic and stuff.
Does that kind of help you have the calmness that you don't have to worry about that before going into games?
Yeah, just something I don't understand either. It just helps me just be, I wouldn't say ignorant, but just just going out there just not knowing what to expect. What hitters doing what within the season and stuff like that. So just pitch my game and then beat them.
She trusts you. What is that relationship? How does that relationship get built?
It's just working together, having conversations, talking, kind of just building a relationship, and getting to a point where we trust each other. We're in this together. We're working as a team. When you got someone who's got the stuff that he's got, it's a lot of fun.
You get the 2 hits. We've talked before the game about how hard it must be not to look up at the screen and see batting end. What does that feel like for you?
It feels amazing. A lot of it is, just trying to use little tricks. Just picturing different numbers. Not even paying attention to that stuff. Right?
Okay.
Just trying to mentally get myself to focus on at bats, and obviously being able to come through in those situations, that feels really good.
Can you take us through the first double at bat, please?
Honestly, just trying to get a pitch to hit. Trying to stay aggressive. Trying to just put the ball in play. Because obviously when you put the ball in play, good things can happen. So that's pretty much the whole thing, and I was able to get a pitch that I saw and just kind of stay inside of it and shoot it back.
And the second double?
The second one is honestly very similar. Not trying to overcomplicate it, just keep it simple and get the barrel of the ball.
rest of the season and be in a really good spot.
There was one pitch at the end, they called it a cutter. It looked like a curveball to me.
Yeah, I got on top. It was my quote-unquote cutter. It's more of a slider. It's more of like a bullet spin straight down. It's just something different than my sweeper. Sweeper's more lateral.
Right.
But yeah, they call it a cutter. I think they're both technically sliders, just variants.
It was fun. I thought it was a curveball.
Thank you. Well, maybe I'll bring one back.
That's fun, right?
Jason, just curious, how's your mentality been on the mound in these last few outings for you?
Yeah, it's been the mentality's been pretty much try to throw strike one, throw strike two, and then you got some chances to try to strike guys out or get soft contact. Both Ben and Alex have been calling great games. Stealing me pitches that maybe aren't strikes, and they're pulling them right into the zone, which is huge. And just trying to throw strike one and go from there.
In terms of confidence, is there any sort of high or low, or are you just kind of staying even keel right now?
Yeah, circumstances can certainly impact your confidence, and so that's why I do try to stay more process driven and look at, because the results, there's nights you throw really good pitches and the results just don't work out, and there's nights you throw terrible pitches and the results do work out. So I try to stick to the process, which is learning how my body works best, trying to repeat that so that I can get ahead of hitters and then put them away when given the opportunity.
To be able to start out a series like this against a team like Cleveland, and having the outing that you had in the ninth, just what's the kind of vibe around this team right now? Because I know that I know the Texas series wasn't how you guys went, or I guess wanted to, but having the 5 straight series wins before that, having the series win against New York, seems like things are starting to really roll for you guys.
Yeah, very, very much, and I think a lot of that's a testament to Tosh. He set the tone tonight. All his pitches in the zone, expanding when he got into 2 strikes. That's a tough team to go seven scoreless against. They're just tough at bats. They're not like free swingers. So a lot of that credit goes to Taj, and then our hitters for just getting 2 runs across so we had a chance to win. So I think we're in a good spot. I think we can keep playing good baseball into the break and then on through the rest of the season.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Jay.
These are pregame interviews from Saturday's game against the Cleveland Guardians, including manager Kevin Cash and starting pitcher Ryan Pepio.
He got ahead of some guys, and then he left some balls probably catching too much of the white, too much of the plate. I know he tried to go up to Jonah Heim, left it middle down 0-2. He tried to go back to a breaking ball to Seager, brought it back over the middle for the 3-run homer. So that's going to happen at times, but he's mindful of it. I'm sure that he's going to look to execute those 2-strike pitches a little bit better tonight.
He's had a chance to take back-to-back series after that tough sweep by the Rangers, going into the All-Star break. I'd imagine that's momentum that you would welcome.
Yeah, look, that would feel good. We got a lot of work to do. This team's very talented, as we talked about yesterday, but just still like the way that we're playing. We did a lot of good things last night with playing clean defense and supporting Taj. Having him on the mound helped a lot, and getting enough run support. So let's see if we can get Zach some early runs and go from there.
So we have Longo here today.
Pretty cool, pretty special. I haven't seen him yet, but when you got a statue outside the stadium, that means you're a pretty impactful player to this organization, and I don't think anybody would argue that. He's the best player to come through here. I don't know what he's going to do, the remainder of his career. If he wants to hit third tonight, maybe plug him in.
Day off for Taylor and Seager?
Yeah.
You touched on it last night. Jason had him in the first half that he's put together. How much is it meant to the bullpen? The consistency, doing basically whatever he's asked.
Yeah, look, it feels like a long time ago, but our bullpen early on in the season was certainly not firing like it was capable of, and Jason has been just very consistent down there doing his thing. It's easy to have that carryover effect where it snowballs to everybody down there, and he's done a good job of not allowing that to happen. And I think some of his leadership and the way he's performed has helped some of those guys to get out of their funks a little bit. But he's been consistent and pretty dominant along with.
The last game of the first half tomorrow.
I feel pretty good. Body feels good, arm feels good. Coming off a good one, so we're playing good baseball right now. It'll be good to get a series win this weekend and go into the break on a high note.
What do you take from the last one, especially the way that you were able to use the changeup so effectively?
It was big to get that back, to feeling confident with it. I've always felt confident with it throwing, but I think just the lack of the swing and miss, and then the lack of the weaker contact that I normally am used to getting with it. Just seeing that the other day just added a whole nother level of confidence with it and just opened up the whole arsenal.
Something that you think you could probably move forward with then?
Yeah, I think it was just a big one was just the way that Alex and I had the game plan going into it, utilizing it more, and then just having that open everything else up and seeing how they were fouling off the heaters up, just kind of making that adjustment mid-game to be able to use that more and get some swing and miss was big time.
Is it fun to have an opportunity to go? I mean, you guys see the best of everybody, but a guy like Quan, who has been so good this year, to measure yourself against the guy who's been so successful.
He's really good. I got to pitch against them last year. I want to say August, September range, and a lot of the same in the lineup. But he's just out there. He's a tough out, and he's one of the tougher guys to get out because he just fouls everything that you throw around the plate. He has very good plate discipline, and he's going to take what you give him. And so you stick to one side of the plate, he's just going to foul or slash it the other way, or if you give him something to handle, he's going to hit it out. So those are a lot of fun at bats.
Does that make what Colin did last night that more impressive?
Yeah, I mean that was a pretty quick at bat, and it was a fun one to be able to watch from the dugout.
This interview is a special interview that we had in the middle of Saturday's game when Rays legend and all-time third baseman Evan Longoria came up to the press box and spoke with us. I believe the interview is somewhere around 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll be able to splice it together to make it sound good, but enjoy.
It feels good, man. I've done a couple of interviews with you guys over the years, and it just so one thing that I felt like I missed in my career was the opportunity to come back here. More importantly as a player, to have that opportunity to come back and play in front of the fans, but it still felt pretty special to be back in this capacity and have my whole family here and be able to kind of enjoy that.
Hearing the music when you went out there.
Yeah, it's all pretty nostalgic. I mean, watching the video, I got a little bit emotional. Just so many good memories over the years. And I mean, I miss playing in this stadium. I missed being here, and I don't think I don't think I ever took it for granted. When I left, it wasn't like I was like ready to leave. It wasn't like I was hoping to get out. I think obviously there's some guys who are ready to leave some places and move on to other things, and I just never felt that way here. And so when I did leave, I was always hoping for that opportunity to come back. And this was great. Hopefully we can spend a little bit more time here with family and get to make some memories.
What's the season been like? Not playing for the first time in however many years.
It's been nice. It's been nice. There's different kind of stresses, different kind of challenges, and stuff like that. But it's been an adjustment period, trying to learn how to be a dad in the summer and not just worry about hitting a baseball. But I miss a lot of aspects of the game. I miss the camaraderie. I miss being in the clubhouse. I miss meeting old and new players and being around those guys. But I don't miss the daily struggles of the ups and downs of the season, the stresses of the season. Going through slumps. I don't miss any of that. So that's kind of when I think about it could be like doing all those cool things. At the same time, there's a lot that weighs on me in the other direction. The struggles of keeping healthy, and keeping my mind sane, when I'm going through a bad stretch. And so I don't miss that.
They're trying to get a new stadium this year. I know you talked to them next year, but stadium in St. Pete. Been a St. Pete taxpayer for a long time here. What do you think of that? And they get that working out?
I hope that it does work out. I mean, I know that there's always a lot made about the fandom here and the amount of fans that come to the games and stuff. But they're over the years, we've had a lot of loyal fans here too. And so for those people, I think that they're deserving of the stadium, and I hope that it does get. I think it's what you said, 17th and 18th.
Vote this week, City Council.
So hopefully it does get approved, and I think it will, reinvigorate the area. Obviously, bring not only a new stadium but other things surrounding the stadium. And I think that, and I hope that that's the goal of building it here is to kind of bring, you know, newcomers into the area and kind of you know, jazz it up a little bit more. So we'll see.
Play again?
No. I waited long enough to know that I was done, you know. So there was a couple years towards the end of my career where I was questioning it internally, and I would go back and forth. You know, I'd have good days, and I'd feel like, oh, I could do this for another 3 or 4 years. You know, and then I'd have those bad days where my body felt terrible, and I was struggling, and those started to outweigh the days that were easy and fun. And I just wanted to leave the game and playing the game like with a good taste in my mouth, you know. And I just felt like the last couple of years it was getting closer and closer, and then last year, like being able to go to the World Series, have the experience that I had, it made it a pretty easy decision for me to go to the offseason.
Have you officially retired or filed the papers?
No, I haven't. I'm just waiting. Maybe I don't know why. You know, I had a long conversation with my agent, and we kind of laid out the pros and cons of it, and I just said, well, I might as well wait and see what happens. And you know, there was no real rush to make the announcement, and so just haven't made it official.
Do you have any plans to do anything post-playing career?
No, I wish I did. That's probably the hardest part, is not knowing, you know, what I'm gonna do. Baseball has been my passion for as long as I can remember, and so you know, I hope that I'm able to stay in the game in some capacity, while also being able to be a present dad and, you know, be at home and not have to miss a ton of memories with my kids. And so that's kind of the hard part with baseball, is it's like you're kind of all in or all out, you know, at this level. And so I'm gonna wait to find, you know, what that looks like, whether it's, you know, letting my kids get a little bit older, you know, kind of being with them and seeing them grow up a little bit more, and then maybe looking for an opportunity that's, you know, going to bring me back to spending 5 to 8 months away from my family, or you know, maybe trying to find a lesser role where you know, kind of fits into that schedule. So I don't know.
Are you involved with Duckies anymore, or anything like that?
We still own it. We still own it. I wouldn't say I'm involved. My best friend still runs it, so I'm not a budding restaurateur by any means. But you know, we're keeping ourselves afloat. No, depends on what team. I shouldn't say that. Maybe these guys, maybe the D-backs, but there's not too many opportunities that you know, that I would go jumping at. Like I said, last year was pretty special. So and I know how hard it is to repeat that. You know, and even if you had a good year and you know, ultimately I feel like one of the only things I haven't accomplished is winning the World Series. And so, you know, if you said I would go hit, you know, 080 for the rest of the season, but the team would win the World Series, then I'd go do it, you know. But that's probably about the only thing that I want to do. So.
You crossed paths with Stephen Vogt a couple of times in your career. He talked about you in pregame, just called you a pro's pro.
Yeah.
You know, is it surprising to see what he's been able to accomplish in his first year as a manager?
No, not at all. I mean, I there's guys that you play with that you can always go, man, that guy would really make a really good manager, you know, whether it's their people skills or, you know, just their knowledge of the game, whatever it is. I mean, he was always one of those guys that, you know, he'll tell you he wasn't a great major league player, but he played long enough to understand what it takes to win, and what it takes to kind of get guys to rally around you. And the same thing with Cash, you know. I feel like those two guys that played against Cash played with, you know, Steven, and you always had a feel that they kind of just got it, you know, understood how to bring guys together, how to rally a clubhouse. And I talked to him before he got the job this offseason, and I don't know, I wouldn't say he was surprised that he got the job, but I think he was surprised at how fast he got a managerial job. But I wasn't, you know. I could kind of see it coming for a long time, and so not surprised at all about his success, and you know, I hope it continues for him. Maybe not the next 2 days, but I hope they're pretty firmly in first place in their division, so he's having some good success, and I'm happy for him. I haven't seen him yet. Honestly, I'm doing some more interviews on Monday with the PR team here, so I kind of waited on doing it because they want to shoot some stuff out there, so I haven't gone because I think they want to get like a more natural reaction. So
the kids weren't clamoring to see it or anything?
They don't even know about it. I didn't tell them, so I wasn't like, oh, Dad got a statue up front, you know, let's go see it. But no, we'll check it out on Monday.
The little one might want to climb on it.
she climbed on everything. It's great.
What do you think the fact that no one's worn number 3 for Korea?
It's pretty special. I mean, they haven't asked me outright, you know, whether I care if somebody wore it or if I'd like it to be retired. There's a lot of, I mean, there's not many, you know, being in the Hall of Fame here and having your number. You know, there's only a few numbers hung up on the wall out there, so. I think we talked about this a little bit before, but you know, I would definitely be honored if they asked me to retire the number, and I just think it's pretty special.
In terms of like front office, they've had very little turnover in terms of the people that are in charge, and so I think those people have kind of figured out what works for this organization and kind of the player that they like to target, and it's paid off on the field. That was always kind of like hard thing, but it was like give and take because it was always hard to have like the turnover that we had while I was here, but then we somehow we'd find a way to win, you know, and so it's kind of like it sucks having 15 new teammates every year, but then when you go out and win 90 games, it's worth it in the end. So you know, I know that's probably one of the things that the fans would complain about the most here is like, you know, you get attached to a player over the course of a year or two, and then that player gets traded or is, you know, gone. And so I think as a fan, I would just say, or as a former player to the fans, like you got to hang your hats on the wins and losses. You know, it's very hard to do what this organization has done. You know, continue to win in a division that's obviously, since I've been here, the most, if not the most difficult division. So they've just done an amazing job with the tools.
Thank you.
These are post-game interviews from Saturday's loss against Cleveland, including manager Kevin Cash, starting pitcher Zach Littell, and outfielder Josh Lowe.
All right, I guess we'll start with near the end of the game, kind of the difference maker there in the top of the 8th with Noel, the towering 2-run home run. What did you see there from Clevenger and that pinch hit?
Yeah, went down and got a breaking ball. You know, like the matchups. Clev has done such a good job for us basically all season long. Got ahead of him, and then with Noel, saw that one good, jumped all over for base hit of the day.
And then the offense tonight, 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. I know that happened yesterday too, despite the win. But just what are you seeing from the at-bats these last couple
Yeah,
of
that's a trend that we gotta kind of kick that trend. You feel it in the dugout. You feel it, you know, throughout the game. We're capable of getting those big hits, but they're not coming right now. Hopefully, we can reset that a little bit tomorrow, heading into the break.
Zach Littell, those 6 innings, 6 hits, just 1 run. What'd you see from
him?
him?
Yeah, he did a really nice job. Good bounce back outing from him after his last one. Knew that he wanted to, you know, do a little bit better job late in counts or late in at bats to make big pitches. Felt like he did.
Any sort of trend or similarity you're seeing in these at bats with runners in scoring position? That's been the issue.
No, I mean, I think look, the guys they're getting pitched tough, but we're capable of finding ways to get that big hit. But yeah, it is not. It's not coming right now.
Catcher's interference played a pretty big role in that 1 inning. What did you see from that?
Yeah, I mean, look, it looked like Ben was set up away, misfired in. That's going to happen sometimes when you're reaching to catch the ball. Not ideal in the moment, but you know, it does happen.
Anything else?
Cash, you mentioned, felt like this was a nice bounce back outing for you. How would you assess your outing today?
Yeah, I'd say the same. Felt good. Really one mistake to Martinez, and you know, just wasn't down enough at the end of the day. But overall, pretty happy with it. Locations were good. Thought it was a lot of weak contact. Definitely a good one to know when to break with.
You mentioned you thought maybe you were better late in counts, late in at bats. Did you feel that way today?
Yeah, I just tried not to. I think a lot of the time I kind of get in trouble being over the plate a lot, which is, you know, obviously what I'm trying to do. But late in counts, we want to expand and make guys chase, especially on a lineup like this. It's a higher contact lineup and doesn't strike out a lot. So I thought I did a nice job making an adjustment versus Texas. And yeah.
I think the third and the fourth, you had 2 on, nobody out, and got through the innings. Just what were the key to getting out of those spots?
Yeah, I think just not giving in. convicting everything over the plate. You know, it was one of those things where it was that was a hit batter and a double. I'm sorry, that was the inning before that, right? But yeah, just second, third, kind of buckling down, and if they're gonna beat me, make them beat me. By not giving in, you know, when they're gonna try and let them walk or anything like that. So those moments are big and a momentum, and as well as from a confidence standpoint. So yeah, I was happy with that.
As far as the pitch, Martinez just misexecuted or patient or
yeah, I just didn't get down. He covers change-ups fairly well, and it's got to be out of zone, and I just didn't quite get it out of zone. He's got one of the longer loopy swings that really plays with all three pitches. I just didn't get it out of the zone.
You guys were 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position, 7 guys left on base. I know Cash was just talking about how you guys need to kind of kick the trend with guys on and not being able to drive them in. And just what were you feeling from the at-bats today?
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of been a trend recently that we need to, and myself especially, everybody else too, the guys on base, just gotta find a way to get that one hit, and maybe that'll, you know, kind of break the dam and open it up for us and get them going.
I was going to say, is it a combination of getting pitched tough and maybe that big hit eluding you guys recently? I mean, I know yesterday you won the game, but still, I know those runners in scoring position were a problem.
Yeah, I think they have the best bullpen in baseball. Facing 2 arms tonight, they were pretty good. Cade Smith, especially, got good stuff. But I mean, still, we got to find a way, like I said, myself included, to simplify the approach there and those bats. Not trying to do too much, just take our base hits, see the ball fall, and then, you know, just get it going.
what did you see from the at-bats in the 6 feet like on base and then start out the side from there?
Just electric stuff, really good fastball. I was hoping that little balk that kind of happened would have just fluttered over the plate. That would have been nice, but it didn't. Good pitcher, but you know, now we've seen him once, and let's expect next time we go.
Coming into basically the halfway part of the season traditionally, where do you see you as an offense, as a team, right now?
I see a team that's starting to get some momentum, you know, with winning the series, and hopefully a team that can, you know, break out in the second half and be poised to make a push to get to the playoffs. You know, we're never out of games. It takes one hit. Hopefully the one hit with runners in scoring position will, like I just said, you know, kind of break out for us. But just keep going up there, having good at-bats, pass it to the next guy, and that's all we can do.
These are pregame interviews from Sunday's game against Cleveland, including manager Kevin Cash and all-star third baseman Isaac Paredes.
We'll start with Ryan Pepiot. He's coming off a strong outing against the Yankees. What are you looking for from him today?
Yeah, I mean, want to see him finish strong in this heading into the break for sure. Really pleased with the outing that he had, and it was nice. You know, the first inning they had some traffic, fell behind some guys, but then he did a nice job of adjusting, working the changeup in the rest of the outing, and it was a pretty dominant outing.
So you guys have one game left today before the All-Star break. How would you sum up the first half for this team?
I mean, we've done some good things. We've done some things that aren't so good, but like the way that we've played here the last month, call it whatever. I feel like we're a better version of ourselves right now. Want the guys to go and enjoy the break, deserving of it, and then we got to come out ready to go, playing 2 division teams.
Looking forward to watching Isaac Paredes in the All-Star game?
Yeah, I am. All of it. I mean, Isaac, not a very emotional guy. Doesn't, man a few words, but you can tell talking to him, he's pretty excited about it, and he should be. So deserving, and to go sit there and rub out elbows with the game's best, and he's one of the game's best. Pretty cool for him.
The things that you guys have done well in this last month or so, kind of what stands out to you is maybe the most important or the most important part to carry forward?
Oh, preventing runs. I mean, that's the most important part. I think that's always the most important part, and that's pretty broad. It comes from pitching, making big pitches, making the big defensive plays. But I feel like we've done that. Want to carry that over. We've talked about here lately that the offense has done a good job of getting on base, but not getting the big hit. So if we can add to that today and moving forward, that'd be great.
Yeah, find a way to more consistent and get it in.
Yeah.
You guys have plans for the rotation after the break yet?
Yeah, I do. It's Eflin. Shoot. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, Eflin, Boz, Taj, Latel Pep.
Eflin, Boz, Taj,
Yeah. Does that sound right, Jason?
Or
I don't know. Whatever. Those three are pitching in New York.
Eflin gets the first game.
Yeah.
Kevin, what is it that you've liked most about this group? Maybe it's the clubhouse, maybe it's the daily effort, the personality, whatever.
I like the way they've kind of come together. I mean, look, when we got off the Chicago-Milwaukee trip, it was bad. It was a bad dynamic. I didn't like the culture, the way it was going. I didn't like the vibe that we had. And to a man, to give them a lot of credit, they kind of reset that. And have things gone perfectly? No, but they've found ways to win together, and that's really encouraging with X amount of games left.
Oh no, sorry.
What's the red carpet plan?
¿Qué es el plan para la alfombra roja, Patrick?
No sé, no sé cómo me vayan a decir cuando esté allá, pero bueno, caminar y disfrutarlo con al lado de mi familia allá.
Yeah, not sure how it's going to work. Obviously, they'll tell me when I'm there, but I'm just going to take advantage and have fun with my family that'll be there.
Bring your daughter?
Yes.
Got your suit yet?
Yeah, I got it already.
What has this last week been like for you? You've probably done more interviews in the last 7 days in your entire life, right?
¿Cómo ha sido la última semana? Que tal vez la más entrevistas que has hecho en toda tu carrera?
Sí, fue muy difícil porque no estaba acostumbrado a eso.
Yeah, it's a little difficult because I'm not used to it.
What's the sense of kind of the pride and excitement from Mexico and the media you've spoken to back there about your All-Star?
De la prensa de mexicana, ¿qué tan orgullosos están ellos del honor de tú estar en el juego de las estrellas?
Muy bueno, la verdad que he visto muchos reportes y en las redes sociales he hablado mucho de mí, del juego de las estrellas y contento por todo eso.
There's been a lot of reports about me and the topic, and obviously on the social medias there've been a lot of stories talking about me, and it's very special.
Is there someone on either the American or National League team that you're really looking forward to getting a chance to sit and talk with that maybe you haven't had that chance to before?
Hay un pelotero tal vez en la Liga Americana o Nacional que esperas conocer o hablar con alguien que no has conocido antes en cualquier equipo.
No, solamente tenía el deseo de jugar con algunos jugadores y se me va a presentar la oportunidad de compartir el terreno y estar en el mismo equipo con ellos.
Not necessarily a player, but my wish was always to go out there and be able to play with some of these stars, and so I'm just going to take advantage of it, enjoy it as best as I can, and be excited about it.
And will you still go home to Mexico after the game like Cash was joking about, or are you going to come back here? What's your plan?
¿Todavía te vas a regresar a México después, como dijo Cash en ese video?
Está difícil, está de pensar si estoy hablando con mi familia y tal vez vaya el día del miércoles y me regreso de Nueva York, pero yo sí quiero ir a pasar un día completo con mi familia en México.
It's a little difficult to plan because I am thinking about it and talking to my family out there. Maybe go out there Wednesday and meet the team in New York. But I'd like to be home to see the family if I could.
Is there any other part of the experience you're looking forward to the most? The red carpet, the home run derby, things like that?
¿Hay algo específicamente que estás esperando, tal vez del home run derby, la alfombra roja? ¿Hay algo a que estés emocionado?
No, la verdad no. Solamente disfrutar de todos los batazos que se van a home run derby porque van a ser extraordinarios. Pienso en la tele se ven muy lejos y ahora me toca verlo en persona.
Well, nothing too specific, but I'd say, watching the home run derby, watching all the guys hit those balls. I know it looks like they hit them far on TV, so it'd be nice to be able to see them in person.
You been on a private plane before?
¿Has estado en un avión privado antes?
No.
So it should be a good week, huh?
Va a ser buena semana.
Muy buena semana.
Yeah, very good week.
These are post-game interviews from Sunday's win against Cleveland, including manager Kevin Cash, starting pitcher Ryan Pepio, relief pitcher Pete Fairbanks, outfielder Jose Siri, and second baseman Brandon Lau.
Strong outings against two very, very good lineups. He said he felt like everything was working tonight. What did you see from him?
I agree. It looked like that. I mean, he was super efficient. Just overall impressed with certainly Pep, but the way we pitched this entire series, ultimately the homestand. But against this team, we talked about being a unique team. They put the ball in play quite a bit. They got a bunch of good hitters top to bottom. They're versatile right, left, and felt like our starters and relievers really navigated through that well and highlighted today with Pep for sure.
Good hitters, but good pitching as well. So those Siri and Brandon Lau home runs, pretty clutch against some tough pitching.
Yeah, when we've talked about getting the big hit, sometimes the guys aren't on base. But we got two big hits today that helped get runs. Look, that Lively's, he's good. I mean, he's deceptive. He's got a good mix and kept us off balance. I mean, he got on a pretty good run himself. I mean, Siri clipped him for the first pitch, and I think Bilal got a first pitch homer as well.
And then does it feel like you guys have some positive momentum headed into the All-Star break after this?
Yeah, I think so. I think that hopefully they feel that way. That's very fair. We've played better baseball here as of late. So hopefully they can go into the break, enjoy it, and then come out of it, keeping a little bit of the momentum that we've created by winning some series here.
You talked a bit about how Pepio has been, how he's been pretty good for you guys. Obviously, he's incorporated some of the change up there, and he's had a few games, like 4 straight starts with allowing less than 2 runs a piece. So what is going into that? What are you seeing from him that's allowing him to do that?
I mean, look, I think that he realizes his changeup is probably his bread and butter of the out pitches, and when he gets on a run, he's going to continue to go to that. But, I mean, a lot of that plays off him having a really good fastball that carries through the top of the zone well. He even threw a couple breaking balls that I looked at Kyle today, and, you know, he kind of put the curveball in the back pocket for a little while. He's brought it back out. It's becoming a pretty good pitch. So the more looks that he can give hitters, the better. But he knows, we know, and probably the opposing lineup knows that changeup's a big pitch.
Brandon quietly seems like he's been on a pretty good run lately, too.
Yeah, he has. Hitting the ball hard. Sometimes he's hitting the ball hard and not getting results. Sometimes he is. I mean, today he squared up 3 balls right on the screws and got 1 home run. I thought the second one was going to be a homer, just knowing how the ball travels off of his bat. But that's a great sign for us, you know, with Yandy getting hot and Be Loud there. And then Randy has, you know, he's done a nice job here over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks.
You talk about playing more like your style. You've got the relief pitch you needed. Josh made a pretty big
Huge play, yeah.
There. It seems like you got a little bit of element of everything today.
I mean, that's kind of how we're built to win ball games. Find a way to get that big hit or two, and then pitch well and defend even better.
And Taylor made a pretty good play that didn't count. But
He's all right. Yeah.
Anything else? Just winning the 7 of 8 series.
Yeah. Look, we had to do something like that to get turned around in the right direction. We got to keep kind of clawing back into this thing. We're capable of it, and you know, we just got to keep trying to find ways to win series. You do that, and I think we'll find ourselves in a pretty good position as this season unfolds.
Back-to-back outing against really good teams, 4 or 5 outings in a row, 2 runs or less. It's kind of what's working for you. What do you feel?
I think the biggest thing is just the plan hasn't changed. Just build and strike quick, sprint to 2 strikes, and then a lot of just mixing speeds. I think we did that well today. Knew their lineup was pretty aggressive, and going to the All-Star break sometimes can be added to it a little bit. So just mixing speeds, mixing locations, going in, going away, not just trying to stay on one half of the plate.
In other words, 3 pitch innings are fun?
Yeah, I did the most unconventional way possible and smoked the guy in the foot, then jam shot, we almost turned a double play, and then a line out double play. So that might be my first 3 pitch inning ever, and it did it as unconventional as you possibly can. So I'll take it. Quick inning. I mean, they had one with like 5 pitches before, so 6 or whatever it was. So.
Yeah, it was 5 and 3.
Okay, I'll take it. Get us back in the hit.
I feel like you have pretty much everything working. Another good outing for the changeup and the curveball as well as kind of coming along.
Yeah, the curveball's definitely come along today. I only threw 3 times, but we threw a lot of sliders and cutters in on them. They were swinging a lot of them, and the only thing you can do when you get it off the plate is yank them foul. So I'll take those, even if they're foul home runs, still striking. So
just for you guys, the whole 7 of 8 series going into the All-Star break, how much better do you feel about the way you finished? Maybe the way you started.
Yeah, no, I think we're playing really good baseball, all facets, defense, pitching, hitting. Everyone's come around. And, you know, it's just a big time to have that kind of confidence boost going into the break and come out of the break with the Yankees before and hope to continue that.
Kind of along those lines, I know 500 is not where you want to get to, but again, because you've been up and down so much, you have to kind of build off of that with, I think it's 66 games left.
Yeah, so with that many games left, there's still a lot that can happen. Baseball, anything can really happen, so I think it's just continuing on the grind, continue day to day, win the games that we need to win. You know, we go out there, we pitch, we hit, we play defense. I like our chances.
Kevin talked huge about about breaking balls, change-ups. How important it is to give those batters different looks?
It's huge because I do throw like 50% fastballs, and I throw close to 90 innings, so the reports out that heaters are coming. So being able to utilize the other pitches and the other offerings to get quick outs and have the defense make plays behind me like they did tonight, and you know, get us back in there to hit really fast. Just trying to go out there and be efficient and utilize different offerings so that second, third time through the lineup, they're still seeing different looks.
Take us through getting out of that little bit of a jam there and getting the save today.
Yeah, I think it could have been avoided had I executed a little better. But outs are outs, saves are saves. And we exactly at 500 going in the break, or we wouldn't even love, right? I'll take being right at 500 with how we were to start the year, going into what should be a good reset for all parties.
I was going to say, how would you assess that first half? It does seem like you guys are kind of getting your groove back recently, winning some clutch series here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought we were generally terrible for at least part of it. We were good for part of it. And, you know, I think we ended it on 8 of 9. PR guy.
7 of 8 series. 7 of 8 series.
I should never have doubted you, Mark. 7 of 8 series to, you know, head into the break. So I think we'll take that, barring, you know, the haunted house in Arlington.
Ryan Pepio today, back-to-back strong outings for him against back-to-back very challenging lineups. What was impressive about his outing today to you?
Yeah, you know, quick outs and weak contact, right? It's a bit of a different, you know, not bad different, just a different challenge than you get, you know, facing a team that has the pop that, you know, we saw with New York. And I thought he did an excellent job of, you know, using his best pitch and then complementing that with a good heater as well.
Good starting pitching, relief pitching, the defense. Clutch hitting feel like Ray's type of wins lately.
Well, you know, I would love if we had a laugher on our end one time, you know? But yeah, wins are wins, Mark. Wins are wins. We don't really care how we get them. We just prefer to have them. Would I prefer that you didn't characterize Rays baseball as a bad offense? Yes, I would. But
tight games.
I don't think that's what your intention was, Mark. Agree to disagree. Yeah, it felt like, you know, we had some vintage wins today. I'll say that.
Thanks. Series, that solo shot clutch in this game against some tough pitching. Take us through that home run.
Bueno, en primer lugar estaba, ¿sabes?, mirando el pitcher mientras casi llegaba mi turno. Pude ver que empezaba un poquito lento y luego como que ya cuando iba a lanzar aceleraba un poquito más su brazo.
I was watching his pitching before I went up to bat when I was in the circle, and I noticed when he pitches, his delivery is kind of slow. Then when he delivers a pitch, he accelerates a little bit, so that's what I was paying attention to.
Let's talk about Ryan Pepio. How impressive was he? That's back-to-back strong outings against very tough lineups.
Impresionante fue Pepio hoy y también su última salida.
Bueno, muy impresionante, y más con esa recta que tiene así de agresiva. Me gusta su soltura, me gusta cuando él hace cuando levanta su pierna izquierda como para pasar.
No, very impressive. That fastball he was working really well today, and I know he's going to deliver a good pitch when I can read the lift of his leg when he takes off the mound.
I'm guessing 500 is not where you want to be, but to win 7 of the last 8 series coming into the break, just what do you feel going forward and your guys' chances to build on that and be a playoff contender?
Tal vez no queríamos estar en 500 en el récord de nosotros, pero hemos ganado los últimos 6 de 7 series. ¿Qué puedes decir de modo que hemos terminado la primera?
Bueno, yo me encuentro bien, siempre, cada vez que vamos al terreno siempre damos el 100%, a veces las cosas no salen bien, pero para mi vista yo creo que terminamos la primera mitad.
I think I feel good. You know, we came out here, give 100% every time we come out to the field. And in my opinion, I think we're in a good place right now.
What do you think is the biggest difference in the way you guys finish this half and how you started?
Es la diferencia más grande que puedes decir de cómo terminamos la primera mitad en comparación con cómo empezamos la primera.
Nos hemos estado enfocando un poquito más. Me hemos dado cuenta que el enfoque primordial en cada partido, de que no importa si por ejemplo perdimos hoy, un ejemplo, y los últimos 2 juegos venimos ganando, o sea, como que nos reponemos.
I'd say the focus. I think our focus level has been a little bit different. I think at the beginning, you know, we lose a game and we lost focus. Now I think we lose a game, we already know that we might win the next game. Or if we had 2 bad games previously, we're going to come in a different mentality the next day.
You scored up 3 balls today, hit him pretty hard, got 1 out of the park. Just take us through that one.
Yeah, I mean, just understanding how he attacked me in the previous 2 at-bats.
the guy had a really good fastball, very hard to get on time for. So it was just make sure I can get on top of it and take a good swing on it.
Ryan Pepiot, that's back-to-back very strong outings against very strong lineups. What did you see from him today?
Just exactly what you want out of a starting pitcher like that. I mean, to have command of the zone, to be able to start pitches that look like they're going to be in there and drop out of it. I mean, it's impressive anytime that he takes the mound, and you know that you're going to get a great start from him. So it takes a little pressure off the offense to not have to go out there and score a ton when you got a guy like that up there.
You guys have taken some challenging series here recently. Is this strong momentum headed into the All-Star break, some momentum you needed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just when you look at the grand scheme of it, the long season, the more times you can walk away with a series win, it's always going to put you in the right spot and in a good position. And not the first half that everybody was expecting and everybody wanted, but finishing strong, taking I think 7 series or something like that, and playing really good baseball. We just had the Yankees and Cleveland, 2 very, very good teams. To be able to win both those series definitely kind of jumps us in the right direction.
What do you like about what you guys have done to kind of finish this first half strong, as far as the way you played?
It's honestly, we've kind of changed up a little bit. Taken some really good at bats. It seems that people are kind of not breaking it down, but simplifying things a little bit. Guys are in scoring position early and just try to get them over. Not try to do too much at the plate. And, on the flip side of things, our pitching staff has been incredible for us.
Kind of taking off of that going forward, what do you think would be most important in the second half? Obviously 500 is not where you want to be to kind of play better going forward.
And just understand the kind of baseball we've been playing and roll out that same kind of approach. Don't put any added pressure onto it. It's still a long second half to go, and we got a lot of good teams coming, and that same kind of thing. We take it the same way we took these last 2 series. Understand that I think we have the toughest strength of schedule coming up, and there's pros and cons to that. And you look at the way that we've played the past 2 series against some of the best teams in baseball. So I think it lines up pretty well for us.
Right. And I guess I just meant specifically like the way the defense is played, or trying to get early lead, things like that. Is there anything specific?
I mean, if I could be, perfect world, I'd love to have an early lead every single time. Our starting pitcher goes 7 shutout, and we go to J.A. and Pete, and it's a very, very easy. We don't give up a single run for the next 81 games. It'd be great.
That's going to do it for this latest episode of Raise the Roof. We wanted to once again thank the Rays for allowing us this access over the weekend. We really hope that this isn't a one-time thing. We hope that we'll be able to do this soon for you guys, and not just at the major league level, but also at the minor league level. And we also wanted to thank all of you as well, because without your support, just as we said at the top of the podcast, we wouldn't have been able to do something as surreal and insane as what we did. There's plenty more Raise the Roof content coming your way soon, as on Thursday, the St. Pete City Council vote for the Rays' new stadium is going to take place, and the Rays are going to be starting the unofficial second half of their season against the New York Yankees on Friday in the Bronx. As well as that, be sure to follow us on social media and be sure to support the podcast as you guys have been. We are on Twitter /X and Instagram at Raise the Roof TB. We also have our YouTube channel, which we're going to be trying to post more video content on, especially stuff from this weekend. It's just Raise the Roof. Make sure to look us up there. And for this podcast, continue to support us as you guys have been. Make sure to make sure to subscribe, make sure to share this with your friends, your family, anyone you know who is a baseball fan or a Rays fan that wants to add a podcast to their podcast feed. So with all that being said, thanks so much for listening, and as always, Rays up.